Good evening. As he said, I'm Phoebe Haddon. I'm the Dean of the Law School, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the Maryland Gubernatorial Forum at the University of Maryland Francis King Carey School of Law. I would like to begin by thanking all of the candidates who are joining us: Anthony Brown, Ron George, Charles Lawler, Heather Mazur, for taking the time to speak with us tonight, because gatherings like this are very, very important. They're very important moments in the election because they give a group of voters the opportunity to see in person the candidates who are vying to represent them and to learn what they can about them. While the constant drum of news stories and campaign advertisements can tend to really dull our senses as average people to the importance of the election, attending a forum such as this one, seeing the candidates in flesh, so to speak, and hearing what they have to say firsthand and unfiltered produces quite the opposite effect, and I'm really proud to have this event here at the law school. So whether or not your vote is influenced by what is said tonight, none of you will leave here thinking that this election does not matter. It does matter. And this is important because all elections do matter. George Jean Nathan, noted theater critic and close collaborator of our very own Baltimore's H.L. Mencken, once said, and I quote, "Bad officials are elected by good citizens who do not vote." Nathan may not have been a politician himself, but he was right on this matter. Elections have consequences, and those consequences are building materials for our collective future. Only our vote ensures that the future we get to see is the one we would like to see. For this reason, I'm especially proud of our students for putting this together. Last fall, they put together a forum for the Attorney General candidates, and many of them turned their attention to tonight's events immediately after that very, very successful forum. We should all be grateful for the energetic work done by the Student Bar Association, Ben Smith, and by the other students who helped organize this forum, including Dan Borman, Joe Setal, Christina Lauderdale, Kelsey Harar, Colin Cloherty, who helped draft the questions for the candidates, Nicholas Caminiti, who's been the candidate liaison, Nia Duggins, who is managing the floor tonight, and Joe Sweeney, Molly Brimmer, Ashley Wetzel, Rich Medoff, and Teal Hinga, who have helped to promote the forum tonight, Nia Duggins, Jasmine Allen, Amy Dubrzinski, and Mary Bisco for the day of organization activities. All of these young men and women took the initiative to create the programs which will benefit the campus and the larger community, and it's a credit to all of them, and I don't mind adding to the law school. So I'd like to give them a round of applause. And now it's my pleasure to turn these things over to Dan Borman, who will lead us on. Thank you very much for coming tonight.
No applause? I'm just kidding. Thank you, Dean Haddon. Thank you so much to all the students, alumni, faculty, supporters, and of course the candidates who are here with us tonight for the 2014 University of Maryland Francis King Carey School of Law Gubernatorial Forum. I know that's a mouthful. We know we sent you a lot of emails and, yes, even Snapchats about tonight's event, but that's because we're excited about it, and I think we're in for a great night. First, I have to thank a couple more people whom without their help this event would not be possible. Dean Krinsky, Jane Wilson, and Jill Yesko were all instrumental in helping to plan the event. Luke Gibson and Mary Jo Rodney are the ones that do everything behind the scenes to make sure everything runs smoothly. So thank them if you see them. And then all the sponsoring organizations, including the Maryland Law Democrats, the Republican Legal Society, UMall, the Student Bar Association class of 2015, the Baltimore City Young Democrats, and the Student Bar Association actually at the University of Baltimore School of Law. Tonight's forum brings together both Democrats and Republicans seeking their respective parties' nomination for governor to the stage to discuss a wide array of policy issues, including education, healthcare, gerrymandering, and re-entry of ex-offenders. The format of tonight's event will be as follows. Each of the candidates will appear individually on the stage for approximately 20 minutes. All candidates will have the option of giving a 2-minute opening statement. The moderator will then ask the candidates a series of questions for which the candidate will have 2 minutes to answer. After the 2 minutes are up, the moderator will move on to the next question. Topical follow-up questions may be asked at the moderator's discretion. Finally, each candidate has the option of giving a 2-minute closing, and we ask that you hold your applause until each candidate has finished their closing statement. Tonight, first to the stage will be Charles Lawler, who is seeking the Republican nomination for governor. Lawler is a businessman and intelligence officer in the Marine Corps Reserves, and he's no stranger to Maryland politics. In 2010, he was the Republican nominee for Congress to represent Maryland's 5th congressional district. Next, after Mr. Lawler, will be Delegate Mazier, who's seeking the Democratic nomination for governor. Mazier defeated 2 incumbents to win a seat in the Maryland House of Delegates, and she has been representing the citizens of District 20 in Montgomery County since 2007. Following Delegate Mazier will be another delegate, albeit one on the opposite side of the aisle, Delegate Ron George. George, seeking the Republican nomination for governor, is both a small business owner and a delegate who has represented the great people of District 30 located in Anne Arundel County since 2007. Finally, we'll be joined by Lieutenant Governor Anthony Brown, who is seeking the Democratic nomination for governor. In 2006, then Baltimore City Mayor and Maryland Law alumnus Martin O'Malley asked Brown to be his running mate in the gubernatorial election. Brown has served as Lieutenant Governor for the state of Maryland ever since. We're so honored to have all these candidates with us tonight. And with that, I'm pleased to introduce our moderator for the evening, Benjamin Smith. I think some of you may have heard of him. Funny story about Ben. The day after the AG forum, when we were all pretty exhausted and never wanted to hold an event like this again because we were just very tired, Ben comes up to me and says, "Yeah, next semester, should we do a governor's forum?" So I think I said no that day, so you can thank Ben for this event tonight. Ben's the incoming student body president at UM Cary Law and sits on the Young Lawyers Council for the Maryland State Bar Association. Please join me in welcoming my friend, Benjamin Smith.